all the stuff that'll get us cancer out of his system.
What
Now,
we need to be talking about is that Killer Mike album. That shit hard, dog. I listened to that on the way to Palm Beach. Oh yeah, let's
But
talk
that,
about something, dog.
but that Andre verse wasn't what I was expecting.
That's what I ain't want to say it. Glad we ain't saying it live, but
We definitely
yeah,
lied, Chris. We definitely
allegedly,
lied.
allegedly. But the whole album fire though. The whole album fire.
Michael Render.
Yeah, he got some soul on that album.
Well, good afternoon. It's Monday night, and it's me and them. And hey, well, it's nighttime for sure. It's 9 p.m. I didn't know it's gonna be that dark. But listen, so we're gonna run with it, right? So we're gonna run with it. So let's get right to the credits. First, first up, we're going to introduce one of my best friends who is always known for his traveling and his uh, journeys in life. Tonight, you'll know him as the international, the ladies' man.
what's happening, fellas? Tonight is no different. I noticed you guys noticed my lighting. I'm sorry. It's dark over here in Cancun. What can I do?
Oh, you're in Cancun, huh?
I am. It's
Because you was in the
father
Bahamas the
daughter's
other day,
trip.
huh?
That was business. My team took care of business, so we made sure that we took care of them. You gotta, take care of the ones that take care of you. So everyone who did their numbers this year with our tax office, we went on ahead and did a office trip to the Bahamas to kind of take a break from the season and to let them know that we appreciate them for all the hard work and effort that they did. So now, after I do that for my individuals who look out for me, I got to do it for my love bug. So it's Daddy Daughter Week. We in Cancun. Baby, come say hi to the people. Because she going to be the international. Wow. Well, she's just going to be a
Look,
traveler because she ain't going to be nothing like her daddy. She already a straight A student. Peek in there and say what's happening.
so
They can't see you. All they see is our arm goofy, just as dark as me. So see,
Hey, Zion, I
and
was
then
unaware of the trip. I think
your
all of
Uncle
us are,
Tootie
but
said, hey,
as usual, enjoy the trip that none of us knew about. I didn't get an invite. Did you guys get an invite?
no, I did
gotta
not.
have a daughter.
Yeah, we got kids too. Okay, so next I'm gonna go to right under Big Meech. We're gonna go to Medium Meech.
Yes, man. Welcome. I am Medium Meach. I am now the new member of the BMF Black Male Fathers crew. And we welcome all black male fathers. We support black male fathers and we are pro black male fathers. BMF, Medium Meach.
All right, next I'm going up top to the man that is displaying the finest fabrics. He is representing one of the finest institutions in the world, not just the state of Florida, in the world. This prestigious academy has put out great minds and great athletes who have changed the world and changed athletic sports around the globe. Tonight, you will address him as the Super Mario Senior.
Hey man, shout out to especially the way this shirt a little bit more today, man. Shout out to my homeboy. He was like a brother to me, Jamonte Robinson. He was an amazing football player. And now he has two sons who are amazing. And his oldest son, who happens to be my godson, just attended an invite for Florida State University as a
Mm,
quarterback. And I'm
mm.
just hoping that he gets the urge because I'm calling and pushing this that I can get season tickets to that one. Boy. Whew. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of him, man. Him and Lil Monte, man. They really killing it, man. So man, shout out to y'all, man, and welcome to Black Super Friends.
All right, shout out to Monte. Every time I think of him, I think about the the time we hung out and we had to go all over Orlando to get air. I never knew that it was a difference in air, good air and quality air. It makes a big difference. Only Mario knows what I'm talking about. Hey, first off, man, before we get into the show, man, I'm gonna do a rant. I'm disconnected from the culture, but I feel like BET has continuously been trashed for a long time. So when I seen the award show last night, and we say Black Excellence, but everybody looked like they were dressed like they were going to Dollar Bill Players Club, and we protect our queens, but everybody was half naked. Even Jazz Hilarious had on an outfit that exposed her whole body. Like, it's amazing what we call Black excellence. And even the show, every year that they had a BET award show, there's always some audio issue, some technical issue, uh, some drama in the audience, somebody fighting backstage. And I know Tyler Perry is going to be buying that, but at some point, man, we got to start setting these standards. We gotta make some noise and like require more out of people, man. I heard more about drama than I heard about the actual artists at the BET Awards. So we got to do better than that. I really feel like BET enforces stereotypes more than anything. And for all that money to be in the room to see how people came there and people behave, I was actually embarrassed. Did any of y'all get a chance to see the clips, or did y'all watch the show?
I didn't. I didn't. Honestly, female rap runs rap now, and I'm not a consumer of female rap, and because I just don't agree with the message. Although I like Pound Town, but other than that, man, no. But I don't even consume that type of
Rhetoric.
entertainment anymore.
Yeah.
I can't come to an award show and hear you rap about how well you sex.
Eating, no, let's be a Pacific. Eating butt. After like 3 or 4 songs were about eating butt or something else, but even Luke got to be appalled. Luke was like, "I can't believe they took me to court for this."
He paved the way, though. Shout out to Uncle Luke with that. I didn't watch that. I haven't watched BET Awards in years either, so I have no surprise. But I will shout out a fellow Jamaican, Skelly Bank. He finally did make it to the front stage, and he's a new and emerging Jamaican artist who got a chance to get to the forefront. And that's a lot coming from a third world country to get to the forefront of the stage at BET. Unfortunately, they were peopling. And I hate to say it, but it's our own people that was peopling.
As always. Shout out to Busta Rhymes, who was sweating like he goddamn came out of the sauna. Mario, did you see any of it?
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't watch it last night, but I seen the great reviews, so I watched it today while I was at work on YouTube. All the clips and everything. I actually like some of the clips I seen. I didn't watch all the way through, so I can't cast judgment on the show. So the clips, it might be better when it's clipped up. But for one, shout out to Bootsy. He's free, and he was having the time of his life the whole show. That is amazing. I think that Busta Rhymes, I'm happy to see him get that award because he was very pivotal in hip hop. And I think that, I'm always happy to see those people get their awards. DeVito killed it to me. He did a good job to me. Coco Jones, I'm happy that she got that award. A lot of politics, but I was happy for the Uncle Luke set, the T.I., and set. It was a couple of everything, but going back to what y'all was saying, I think that's indicative of what music is today. So I'm getting washed out of it. I don't really listen to that much. That's not my genre no more. I'm more of the soul train awards kind of guy right now at my age. So I support it because younger people support it. I'm pretty sure when Trick Daddy and Luke and everybody else was out there when Bootsy and them was in their prime, my mom and them thought it was a piece of crap too. So now that I'm the mom and the dad age, I'm probably gonna think BET was gonna be a piece of crap for the probably till I die. Just because of that reason, I'm getting old.
Yeah, maybe I'm biased because I was like booty eating, and then I see the same.
I disagree with
what?
The most. It's almost like because when men was rapping like that, women consumed it, spent their money on it, came to the shows. We supposed to be like, okay, well, cause y'all did it, we supposed to do it. No, I don't. I'm not going to consume that stuff. I'm going to speak out of this. I'm not going. I'm not supporting it. I'm not going to play it. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what? I like y'all mentioned Uncle Luke. I was looking too, just as an honorable mention. I see Ross is having that pool party on the 2nd, and I like the way how he paid homage to Uncle Luke. Like we were just saying, if it wasn't for Uncle Luke, it wouldn't be no ass eating videos and songs going on. And then they have the pool party, which we know Uncle Luke as kids was the king of pool parties. And I like the way Ross gave him the assist to put him in charge of having the pool party at the biggest mansion in the U.S. So that's dope.
I just thought it was interesting that the girl that was outraged about the red boy kissing her in the mouth has been on fire all week. She's been on 3 different scenes and 3 different incidents. It was somebody at the award show yesterday.
Consent.
Oh yeah, okay. No said. I rest my case, Your Honor.
That's the difference.
You must get consent to eat the back door. All right, listen. So with that being said, BET has a new owner, and his name is Tyler Luther Perry. No, what's the name? Tyler. It is Perry, ain't it? Tyler Perry. What are y'all thoughts about? Quickly, what are y'all thoughts about with BET being under new ownership? Do y'all think that's a great thing? Do you have an optimistic view about things that are going to change with us actually having a black-owned network in the universe now?
I think first thing is shout out to Tyler. That's a big feat. And we, as we spoke of with Black Excellence, I still think it's too new to see if he's going to be able to change the tides or what he's doing. But I am, eager for it and looking forward to it. But I'll wait to see what he does and the changes that he brings to the network.
I think I grade this as just like I do anything else. BET, I think he shouldn't be putting on any more scrutiny than anybody else. I believe BET was ran by other people other than our colors for a while, and it was trash. And people still watched it. They still watched all those bad movies and still did everything else. So now I think it'd be hypocritical for us to, every time he put out the same quality of stuff, we blast him for it. When it's been getting blasted, it's been that way forever. So even if he upgraded for a little bit, it's almost like, this restaurant, McDonald's, having trash food, but when Brenda's has one bad plate, oh my God, I can't believe it. This is terrible. Bro, like at some point, I've been to McDonald's and the cheeseburger's been bad. So that's why I say we got to call a spade, because every time somebody black gets something, it's like 100% if they don't do amazing, then it's just the hell with them. And I think that's just a little bit harsh to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm optimistic because he's hired more black people than. Can you name me a black person that's hired more black people than Tyler Perry?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Jones? Be funny. Okay.
He might have more black boy. No, man.
Don't you do it. We just got out suspension. Don't you do it. Hey, man. All right, let me ask you something, though. Wait a minute. This snuck in.
Oh, you got to let Meech go.
Meech. I don't want to die.
Well, okay, my bad. I'm optimistic about it. I love black representation. I like to see black men in ownership and leadership roles. I think it's great for youth to see those type of things. I also grew up on BET, black video soul, Donna Simpson, Rap City with Big Tigger. You know what I'm saying? Uncut. So I like BET. It's a staple of my childhood. But the thing that scares me is that I want to see what message is going to come out. Tyler Perry is as far as I know, a Democrat. The Democratic Party is leaning to be a little bit more liberal and far left. So I wonder if it's going to be a balanced, like if it's a BT News. I want to see if it's a balanced view, because I always hear that we're not a monolithic people. So, and I think in black males, the conservative movement is growing. I myself, I'm starting to lean more conservative myself. So I hope that representation get to come out too. So, but I'm like I said, I'm just like when Obama got the president. I feel encouraged. I feel inspired. I think it's an amazing thing, and I hope that it's a space where black creators can come, feel like at home, and then we produce amazing products and amazing cinema, and we all come together and do it. I think it's a good thing.
I'm optimistic in the sense of Mario always making me stay optimistic. With Tyler Perry, I was a big fan of him coming to power. I hope he doesn't become jaded because I think right now BET is already kind of Tyler Perry channel because everything on there is his movies and his shows, and the pilot show that he has out now. I just think it focuses too much on gay storylines, down low men, deadbeat daddies. It's always a lot of drama, and that's what I don't want. I'm hoping that we actually go back to the Renaissance era where BET actually had a black news network, that came on at 6. And I used to enjoy watching BET. I watch BET a lot. But Chris, you do make a point, and I'm making it's not a declaration, but I don't even think it's a Democrat-Republican party no more, Democrat versus Republican. You could say the synonym is gay versus not gay. Because one party is pretty much all for gay rights and the other party is not for gay rights. So that's just my thoughts. You heard it here first. Because it's pretty much that. What'd you say?
I will say this. I really hope he brings back Team Summit. Team Summit was a pivotal program for us growing up that kind of prepared us for the next level in life. And if he does anything like what they did, I hope that he pours some attention into the Team Summit so to kind of help break down some of these transitional periods for these upcoming young men and women that are going to be men and women shortly after. So
let me add on to what you're saying. We came through in the era. This is how important programming is. Remember, you had the Cosby Show. Think about the Cosby Show had an impact on all of us. Different World. Everybody about Different World was so hyped thinking about college. Before Different World, I didn't have nobody in my family going to college, even thinking about college. So a lot of those shows, man, actually gave you insight into the next chapter and made you think like, man, college look cool. Oh, man. So that's why I know programming is really important before the reality TV era.
I want to beat this.
Last but not good.
This is a question. Do y'all think? I want you to be honest now, because I'm gonna ask you. If you say how you answer this, is gonna be another question. I hear y'all saying y'all want this stuff. Do you think business-wise that's a wise decision to have this stuff?
What do you mean?
Non-drama, non.
Yeah, I want to know what channel right now is doing great with the stuff y'all speak of. The Teen Summit. Do you have any other network that's producing a Teen Summit that you could say that if I was to go to a board, I can shop this show and say, this demographic of people, I'm going to get this many views and this many views, and this worth marketing and pushing numbers behind. Anyway.
Well, my hope would be that simply because Tyler Perry gained the channel, I want to get a subscription. That's my first step. Now, the programming that's on there, I'm going to be, watching. I'm going to see if it's something I like. But just because Tyler Perry has got ownership of it, I will get a subscription. That's the first step.
And I think you got to be courageous at this point. Somebody has to have a pilot. Just like it's 4 of us, I think there's enough people that's looking for something that has some decency to it. You know what I mean? Like, people can say what they want, but despite his accusations on a personal level, Bill Cosby put out content that we didn't even know we needed. So in my hopes, I do think it probably won't thrive as much as, like Mario saying, the drama-filled reality stuff, because we are addicted to that as consumers, or this generation is. But I think you got enough of a market, consumers that would support a channel that put out some decent stuff. Because people as parents are looking for some content that you can watch as a family. It's no different than the Christian networks Well, Christian people are looking for something that they can watch with their family that's not filthy.
But I think what Mario's saying is you put your money where your mouth is. You get the
Right.
subscription and you view the actual show because that's what drives entertainment. This is
Right. And I'm just
I
talking
think
about.
so.
I'm just talking about projections. I just know.
Right.
Listen, I don't want to get back and forth. That's why I asked y'all the question because, I'm just like being in the seat where it's always people saying, "Well, you should," but I got my
It's
family too.
feasible.
Like right,
Yeah.
like now you want me to take the risk, but I'm saying what numbers produce that's even a good. I understand what Tudor's saying, like a risk, because that's understand like this is a risk for him to do that. It's not just like let's just roll this out and the people gonna come. There's no doubt that probably can support that. So when you go against the board as the head of this company now, and you looking at these people and saying, "Hey, I'm finna bring back eclipse in time," where times were much different. When Bill Cosby put out those shows, the black family dynamic was different. It was everybody come home. We only had one TV in the house. It was no YouTube. It's a lot of stuff that went into those shows being successful. I'm saying right now, just to say I'm gonna flip the script when everybody else is doing this, it's almost like conscious music. And I'm gonna let this go. Killer Mike album is one of the best albums from top to bottom. He's in no sales category right now. None. So yeah, Chris, I like it. You like it. I'm pretty sure Zay's gonna like it. But business-wise, was that a good decision? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just saying Pound Town is on the BET. We didn't see Killer Mike up there. And I'm saying a lot of times right now we want stuff because we're from that era. So I share with y'all too. I got kids. I want that. I'm just trying to be realistic, saying how do you pitch that to an audience of it's no demographic out there. What demographic do you have to show that? Them niggas, we're 50 almost. Like you gonna pitch to us a 50-year-old or 45-year-old man that work and taking care of family? You pitching a TV show series to him? Whoa.
Don't even watch TV. Makes sense. Didn't even think about that part to it.
Start with a subscription, everybody. Turn your mic on.
You are a professional.
Hey, tonight you hush, sir. Listen,
I'm just in the shadow.
bro, you had no idea, boy.
Oh, you're a professional too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just proud of you, boy. You international tonight. I know that broadcast, them fees hitting you right now. Internet like $40 in Mexico, but I'm gonna rearrange the order because I want everything to flow. So I'm gonna go politics before I go into Chris era. Let me just ask y'all straight out. We got a presidential election coming next year, and let people tell it. People always talking about, oh my God, Florida. Florida has become the talk. It's almost like a joke around the country, whether it's Donkey of the Day or somebody talking about Florida, man, or what happened to Florida. And I would like to say none of that happened to New Yorkers moved to Florida. But people are calling me like, bro, y'all stay in Florida. And I'd be like, it's actually pretty good here. Like, despite what you hear. Let me ask y'all something. As far as our governor who's going to be running for president, do you think Desantis is a racist? Because that is the new media trend that they're pushing to discourage people or make people aware that he's a racist. Have you followed any of his actions this year since announcing? I'm going to go to Medium Meach first.
I don't know if Ron DeSantis is racist because I've heard him being called a racist, a bigot, a homophobe. I heard him being called crazy. I heard him being called a lot of things. So I just examined the accusations. He caught flack for the Don't Say Gay bill that actually does not have the word gay in it. When I heard his explanation, he said that I don't want sexual orientation being taught for little kids. That was his explanation on that. I seen him have caught some flack with Disney. Disney took offense to that bill. They came out against him. Now, I wouldn't have had a problem with it, but a couple of years back, they were told me when Kaepernick was kneeling that corporate entities should stay out of politics. So Let's stay consistent. Corporate entities should stay out of politics. He caught flack for his stance on illegal immigration, saying that he was going to arrest illegal workers, those and those that employed him. You can look at it as bad. I look at it as a black man. I have 3 nephews that recently graduated high school and have dead-end jobs. Take your ass out there on the construction site, learn how to do stucco, learn how to build a house, learn how to do plumbing, learn how to do electricity. That's opportunity for us when those jobs are gone. So if you got a kid sitting out there, there's a skill that he can learn that he can keep for the rest of his life and he can sustain himself. They had a problem with him taking Black history out of certain curriculum. I don't know how I feel about that one quite yet. When I heard his explanation, he said he's waged war on woke culture. He said Florida, his slogan is Florida is where woke goes to die. So he's saying that queer theory has nothing to do with Black history and will not be a Trojan horse and put into our curriculum. That's his thing. Me personally, this year I'm not voting with my heart. I'm voting with my head. I'm a part of BMF, Black Male Fathers. Tell me what you're going to do for Black male fathers, and that's how I'm going to vote this year. I don't care about Democrat. I don't care about nothing else. I care about what are you going to do for men, specifically Black men, but I will settle for men. That's what I care about. I don't care who's racist. I care about who has an agenda, who has a plan that will support Black male fathers. This is me, William Meach, and I am the leader of this organization.
I would like to just say that you guys know I'm conservative, but I'm biased in this. If you give me the difference between DeSantis and Trump, I'm probably going to go with Trump. But I have the pleasure of knowing both of them. I just have I'm going to say this without saying much. The media is very, very powerful. And if you put that out enough, you're going to also get people. You repeat it enough, people gonna carry it. Like this right here, there's he's also racist to immigrants, and that's why I might be a little prejudiced to that because Black people don't seem to have the same fortitude that other people have. Seem like Caucasians have a certain amount of I'm gonna do what's in my best interest. Every group seems to do what's in their best interest. But then you take African Americans, we over here fighting with the fight for gay rights. We fight for immigrants. We in everybody cause, but nobody down with us. And I'm gonna say something on a national level. And this, y'all quote me on this. We talk about being gentrified in local communities that we don't even see how white supremacy with Joe Biden is happening on a national level. Tell me anything that he's done for Black people, right? It's hard enough for everybody on the screen to own a house. It was hard to get a house, and it's hard to even qualify for that dream. But y'all don't see how, name a conflict, whether it was people from Syria, Ukraine, name every conflict, and how they've opened the door for these people to come into America, get all kind of assistance, get free housing, all of these things that were meant for us. It's hard enough for Black people as minorities. And all that area that we're fighting to get, y'all don't even see that on a national level. That's affecting our ability to get what's already ours. So I just feel like right now, to their point, Governor Scott was a piece of work. But I do know he did a lot to fight for fathers in Florida to have their rights. And he changed a lot of those child support policies. DeSantis has done the same. So I understand why Disney World and a lot of groups are mad with him because he's not pushing for gay rights. So is he racist? No, I don't think he is. I just think that it seems like the media has so much of control of our thinking that they almost tell us who to be mad with and what to be mad about. So as a Black man who's a straight person, I don't have nothing against any other groups. I need to do what's in my best interest as a Black man who's raising sons. And I agree with a lot of stuff he's doing. I don't agree with the curriculum aspect, but then you dig down you get to understand more, because most of the time we just hear the news headline and we bite it. Oh, he said he got a gay bill. Oh, he removing this, and we never go and read the story. Mario has made me better at that intentionally. Like, actually go read it for yourself, which we do not do. Sorry for the rant, Medium Meach.
I just want to say that about that LGBTQ community and the curriculum thing. I'm conflicted on that because I cannot say that community hasn't contributed to Black history. To say that they haven't, they are a part of Black history, because a lot of them. I'm wearing a designer of that community right now. So, but I do think that there's two different struggles. I think one is a struggle of choice, and the one is a struggle of no choice. We don't get to choose whether we are Black. We don't have a choice in that, and our fights are separate. But I don't know.
Super Mario.
First of all, I don't have anything to do with Florida. I don't stay there no more. So my people about to retire. I'm trying to get my daughter out every day. So let's start by saying that. Now, since I don't have a dog in the fight, I can say I'm happy that Desantis is kicking all y'all immigrants out, because I'm in the construction industry. I own homes and I buy a lot of property, and I do development, and it's making my life a lot easier. I'm having a lot of crews that y'all are moving away from that are moving up here, and my expected in my timelines, my budget is getting cheaper. So I say keep it up. We're gonna listen. Y'all don't want them, we do. Move to Georgia. Anybody who don't want to stay in Florida, immigrants don't like DeSantis, move to Georgia. Please move to Georgia. That's all I got to say about DeSantis. I'm okay with you coming.
Before I go to Mario, last 2 months ago, he banned the ability from people from outside the country, like the Chinese that were buying up all the houses and then jacking up the rent, that's turning Black people and most minorities into consumers. Now it's definitely taking away your ability to buy homes and home ownership. All right, give me the checklist. He's done stuff we don't even understand that works in our favor.
That's subjective. Like I'm saying that's what I don't want to go down that road, but like saying taking away my ability to buy a home, I don't think nothing can. Like I'm just saying, and that's why I said I let y'all dictate that, because I'm saying in the first house was bought in Obama, then the second house was bought in Trump, then this house was bought. That's what I'm saying. It don't, like right now. Is it going to be difficult? Yeah, but I think it's always going to be difficult for us. I think right now, the same program, it's programs right now. I tell people about it every day. I work for a home development company. I tell people about every day that they don't use. So we could say that's Biden, or we could say people just don't use them. Like I have a program, and Chris can attest to this. He looked it up, like that has right now. I've been telling people about it, and nobody uses it. So I could say, well, you know what? Dang, this man is really cutting us down in the interest rate. Yes. Has the property interest rates went up? Yes. Is HOA going up? Yes. So you got to save a little more. You got to go to the club a little less. Like I'm saying, my point is, as Black people, we always complain about what the government is doing. And I was talking to this dude this weekend at a development meeting, and I was like, saying some of the almost the stuff that Tootie, like, because Tootie bringing up great points, right? He was like, well, why does it matter? Like, like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna drive this Camry till I can't drive it no more. Like, my cousins stay with me, right? And his family stay with me, right? See what I'm saying? When Black people start doing that, then I would listen to those valid rants. When we start coming together, have a community, and I can say, you know what? It's hard for us. But when I see that, as soon as you, like right now, you don't want to share a room. Like, I know people who make under $50,000 and don't want a roommate. That's crazy. But then you're going to say, oh, it's hard out here for us. No, it's not. For your ego. Take your ego. You need a roommate right now so you can save some money. But when I say that, then our women don't, oh, you got a roommate. That's what I'm saying. No, it's us. So I'm a little jaded on this, and I feel with Tootie, because I don't want to go and say he's not saying facts, because the stuff he's saying is definitely facts. Interest rates are through the roof. The 10% you used to have to put down, that's gone. All of those great factors on even the laws that are changing to make sure that they can appraise houses at a higher level, and the government they used to correct those people that have to check in on them. Those are going away. So now they can appraise your house higher because you. I'm saying, like, it's a lot of rules being changed right now. But in this point, you would think us saying, we come on here every time and say, here goes some knowledge, here goes some knowledge, here goes some knowledge, and people are gonna be like, man, you right, boy, they killing us out here. Hey, let me get that Raymond VSOP and
Yeah.
for the club, and I got to go here, and I got to take another vacation, and I got to. No, you don't, bro. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to do none of that. You cannot do all that and weather the storm. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Shoot. When you ask the question on if DeSantis is racist, I think that everyone's racist to a certain degree, and I say that from this standpoint. You're going to align yourself with the people that look like you. So if that's it, then they can stamp anyone with racist. I do agree with you though, Chris, on the points that they stated that he's racist on. He has an explanation for it, and it's usually a damn good one. So, and it makes sense. So, and I know, and I also see, like Horace said, what they did with Trump. You know what I'm saying? They kept saying he's a racist so much until it just became everyday conversations inside the house as soon as Trump's name comes up. And again, like you say, even down to with Biden, we do have to, as a black society. I know we always speak to the two men, but all together, because what you're talking about makes plenty of sense. You got to get together. You got to come together, and we don't do that. You know, we're under Biden right now, and so many black people. Biden's my president because he hung out with Obama a little bit. You know, whatever the case may be. But that's the same guy that told us he had no room for reparations for us as black people. But they slipped on $6 billion mere oversight and accounting to Ukraine and any other nationality other than black people that has an issue around the world. They're there first quarter. So as black men and women, we need to pay attention. And like Mario said, a lot of things that are coming about, we don't know because we're jaded by emotions, not thinking logically. They'll hit us with Ocean Gate. But then the Africans that drowned, who heard about it until Obama said something? So I don't know. I don't know what that question, man. It's just one of them things where you just got to get on top of yourself and make sure that you and yours are taken care of, and let people do what they're gonna do because they're gonna people.
Yeah, I said this to one of my colleagues. I said in a meeting, I said, have 80% of the people around you are idiots. So what you mean? I said most people are educated by the news, not knowing the news is a show. You know what I mean? The people that own the news put out a certain script. But if you go and dig and read the story, you be like, they're not even afraid to lie to you, not even afraid to give you a half story. Right. But y'all so angry and mad on stories, like you say nobody knew about the people that drowned until somebody else said something. But that's on people, because you allow somebody to educate you and feed you stuff. Nah, bro, you got to do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Somebody just texted me Mario Snap. Oh yeah, he usually does.
Every time.
Listen, when we get our topic, Mario home ready. What'd you do? Yeah. Now I'm going to Chris Avenue, Chris, because this was left off the other week. And this is right up your alley. Medium Meach, Date Doctor. Mm-hmm. Should men keep their options open while dating?
Well, I think that keeping your options open while dating renders one result. It maximizes your options. I know this because I've been dating with my options open for over a decade now. So now anytime I go to the grocery store, I can holler at anybody I want to. I maximize my opportunity. If I go to the club, if it's I meet somebody there one night, whatever, I maximize my opportunities. If you have some old school, oldie but goldie want to spin the block, you open because you dating with your options open. So all dating when keeping your options open does is maximize your opportunities. But what I've learned in this decade is dating with your option open doesn't maximize your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really want to maximize your opportunity, you can't do that. I've seen how, like I've never talked about women treating me badly. Every woman I've been in a relationship with, or even some little bit of long term, treated me well, but I didn't pour back into those women, and it's hard for you to get mad if you don't get fruit from a seed that you didn't flower. So I believe that if you want to maximize the opportunity that you're in, you have to water that seed. That's dating with your options closed is maximizing the opportunity. Dating with your options open is maximizing opportunities. So is however you want to look at it, but it has its goods and it has its bad.
So what was the answer?
The answer, should they?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't know. Like if you,
Doctor.
Some men like to,
That's a
the
horrible point.
adventure of dating. Like dating is intoxicating, meeting new women and things like that. But it's not going to work unless you maximize whatever one situation that you in. So,
all right, latest man.
Whew, all right, pack a lunch. I got to unpack. So, with the not for y'all. So, if you say that, if you're asking, does keeping your options open maximize your potential when dating? As a serial dater, I honestly think no, and I'm going to explain to you why. When you have options, it's harder to make choices. So if you notice, most people, when you do sales, you give them one or two avenues, A or B, red or blue pill. When you have a smorgasbord of pills, it's hard to make a choice. And popular opinion or rhetoric for us growing up was get all the women that you can get. Some of us were scholars at that. The problem is you don't know how to choose one. Because how do you when you've had a plethora for a long time? So that doesn't maximize your potential because we already know how do you get to the money. You hunker down. You get one. Instead of going on 10 dates, you go on one. Instead of feeding 10 bras, you feed one. You understand what I'm saying? And then you gain some traction. Now you can start seeing. It's not get rich quick, it's get rich over time. All of us on this panel want to make sure that ourselves and our kids and grandkids are straight. We can't do that if we keep frolicking around. So this has been something that's been going on in my mind for a while. We talked about it for a good bit. Even we joke about it on here. But you have to come to a point where you got to say, how do I make the best move for me? And it can't be with 10. Unless you live in the UAE, then by all means have at it. But most of us live right here in America. As you said, interest rates through the roof. They already ain't got no jobs, and woe is me. So you better find something that works for you and take that avenue. And if you want to win, you better go with what works.
Well, I'm gonna keep it short. Listen, I'll keep it short. Should men keep their options open while dating? Absolutely yes. Facts are most decent dudes will not. It's too exhausting. They're too focused on real life to spend that much energy into multiple ventures at one time. So I definitely think they should keep their options open because it's only right. That's what women do. They're gonna go with what's they just right. Women
Men
gonna
are
go.
not women. Men lead,
Literally, we
man.
got women though.
No, but I'm saying women do it. Men should do the best option. A woman is going to pick. Most women are going to pick. Some women are going to pick their person they marry on the person that's going to give them the best lifestyle for and security for the long haul, right? And men marry different. The person that's going to add value, give him some peace, and give him some grace to, you know, move up or grow with. So they come from two different places. I think more men might need to look at the situation. I know a person that was with a woman that he loves and he was crazy about her. Well, did she contribute to his life? Did his life flourish like it might have? No. And he had a woman that probably was bought him. Listen, she took care of him. He would have had a good life, but he ain't picked that person.
Well, I'm saying though, you're talking about a situation on the bad side. Let's talk about a situation on the good side. You meet one that's like that's helpful to you. Is should you keep your options open while dating her?
I personally think that you should date somebody for 4 seasons because everything's gravy in the beginning. You need to know this person for 1 year, know them for 4 seasons. A year, I feel like, gives you enough time to see how they handle their own personal issues, situations that may arise. You're going to go to different events. I think a year is fair. In the beginning, it's always lovely and everything's amazing. And then you see people break up later because they jumped in too fast. Give give them a year, 4 seasons. That's
Four
just my
seasons.
opinion. I do.
So, shout out to one of
after
our
that,
other.
so after that year, and then they amazing, and you still dating. That's okay. So now
I wouldn't date after that.
huh?
I personally wouldn't date after that. I think you should, that person showed you, okay, let me put more intentions into this person. You know what I mean?
So did you find this out at 364?
But
When
you
did
know,
you
you
find
might
out?
come to that
362.
conclusion a little bit before. But I'm saying,
So
you're
what's
gonna listen. If you're a decent dude, everybody putting their best foot forward, bro. They gonna listen. You'll think you getting this person, and then when she gets you, goddamn it, she gonna show you what you got.
So we understand. And what you're saying is valid. I'm thinking
Yeah.
the question is maybe you could tell me before I answer. Because I was assuming that as long as you dating, it don't matter when. You saying should you keep your options open while you dating? Period. Like if it's 4 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, if you still dating, that means you still available. Because some people keep their options open the whole entire time they're dating. They're still always saying, "You're right. I got to see what's my best pick the whole time." And that's what I'm saying. So if that's what you're asking, I think then it goes back to almost what Chris was alluding to. I hate doing that, but from what I heard, he was kind of almost saying it's if what you're dating for. I think if you're dating for marriage, then no. If you're dating to me for pleasure, then yes.
Then yes.
Yeah.
I think that's just as simple as it goes. If you're dating for marriage, I don't think you can really concentrate on really actually seeing everything if you got too many distractions. But I think if you're dating for pleasure, then you play the numbers game. The more you out there, the more you talk to people, the more you're going to get people, the better people you're going to get, and the less you got to deal with crap when you date, the more people you have. That's another thing.
Well, I mean,
variables though. There's a lot of variables come with that. Because Chris is a good dude, right? Mm-hmm. And he's dating a person, right? Let's all be honest. Chris is with Tanya, and Tanya seemed to be good. Other women see Chris with Tanya. Here come the test. Is the chick that Chris wanted to smash before? Is new chicks that's mean? It's chicks that see Chris with Tanya they want. Bro, for Chris in this era, bro, yes, he definitely. I think it does.
So you think that's gonna happen? You think that's gonna Tanya the other women gonna go away when they get married? That's what I'm saying. Like that's never gonna stop. When people say that analogy to me, it's never gonna stop. So Chris need to learn how to deal with that now. Because when you get married, it's gonna be a whole nother group of women saying, "Aha, Chris will compete, and I'm better. He will commit, and I'm better than her." So now So I'm saying though, Chris, what you trying to do with that? I'm better than your wife. I'm finer than your wife. Now it's for the rest of your life you gotta deal with that. So that's just you got to learn how to deal with saying no to women.
And that's why a lot of dudes fail. Just don't hit it real.
I'm mad I ain't met Tanya. What's going on, Chris?
Here's the thing. Me and Hardy slightly disagree. I think that you could be dating for any reason, even if you're dating just simply for pleasure. If you in it just for pleasure, if you get with this woman and maximize and cut your options off and then maximize the sex of this woman, even if it's a 3-month relationship, you're going to get a better output from that woman by focusing on that woman, even if it's a fling, even if it's a 3-month thing. Anytime you're going to get a better result from that opportunity.
That's count. You know,
not maximize.
She might have gave me all she could give me. Like I'm saying, like some women just infatuated by you. That's why. That's why I don't want to break it down to that because you might get the best she got that first time, and she might consistently. That's what I'm saying. So I was saying because we can go down to this. If you're saying that method, then having multiple women it's all new is always better than old. And
not if it's just for pleasure, because the new is the unknown. If you into the unknown, yes. But if your simple goal is for pleasure and you meet one that's extremely pleasurable to you, you're going to maximize that opportunity by cutting
off. You're going to get tired of that. I'm saying you buy a Lamborghini tomorrow, you get tired in a year. I'm saying every man.
That means that was just a year relationship. But
no, but I'm saying, but if I get
the experience of that Lamborghini while driving an Aston Martin at the same time.
Yeah. I think you can. I think right now that's why you have that's why threesomes is the best antiquated pleasure that it is. Yeah, I think that you can have multiple threesomes, foursomes. Like you can get nasty. You can have she does this better. You don't have to because everybody not gonna do everything great. Now she might be overall the best, but you might have somebody who can just give you fellatio at the highest level. But now you gotta wait for her because you got this Lamborghini. But no, you can get
that's
the
what you
Lamborghini.
get it for, the greatest fellatio ever.
No, I'm saying, but the
you
other
find
girl
the
might
greatest
have.
fellatio ever, maximize the greatest fellatio ever.
But that's only one part of sex. There's still other parts of sex. I'm saying, like, you might have one well-rounded girl who is like, she does everything great at an 8, but then this girl is a 10 at that. So right now, if I'm dating and I'm not trying to get married, I want the 10, the 8, the 7, and I want to go back to the 10 every time I want to. Then I want to keep this 8 right here because this is my consistent. Then I want a 10, 9 at this, 10 at that, 8, 10, 8, 10. I want to keep going back in them things. Now, if I'm dating
that's amazing. That's an amazing feat. But when you don't maintain the interest of a woman, they drop off. So thinking that you're going to be able to go right back to that 10 and fluctuate, I don't think that's possible.
I definitely think it's possible. It happens every day, D.
It do, yeah.
What
Ladies,
days
man.
Possible.
What days are where you cannot pay attention to a
now you go to the extreme. You said
go to
not
the
paying
8, come back to the time.
It's a difference between
fluctuate
not
like
paying
that.
attention.
I just don't think that's happening.
It's a difference between not paying attention, that's the extreme, and not giving her all my attention.
Well, giving little attention, giving
Yeah,
a moderate
That's all
amount
it
of
takes.
attention.
That's
I'm
usually
saying,
when
I
you
can
get them
split my
on.
attention up good enough. I can split my attention up good enough, not by a lot, but good enough.
Listen,
More than one woman. That's my point. I can split my attention up. I don't have to say I'm not going to give you none. That's crazy. I don't think I can do that. But I can give 3 women enough time to feel like, because they working, they doing, they have their life too. Especially if they grown women. You can't be. We're not 12, like 20. So at 40, shit, you working, you busy too. So you can give 3 women at 40 enough time till they feel special and adequate.
And she like you, she's gonna compete to get more time from you. So you not giving her time is gonna keep her engaged as compared to the dude that's, baby, whatever you want to do. Where you at?
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying I even want to do it, but I'm just
saying
if
you're gonna get sex from this woman. If you focus on this woman because you have good sex, you're gonna get more sex from this woman than splitting the time with another woman. If it's just about head, you're gonna get more from this woman by focusing on this woman than you would splitting time. It maximizes whatever this woman does for you. She clean up your house. She's gonna clean up your house more if you're focused more on her.
Because if she's only available between 6 and 7, that's her time, right? So every day I give her 6 and 7, 6 and 9. I give her those. But this bitch work with me at 8, and I go hit her. That doesn't take away from her time. That's what I'm saying. So I can do it. You can. There's people out here. I don't know. Like there's people who at work hitting the bitch at work.
I don't know many that have a schedule like that. But
hey man, we don't like your energy, Chris. Hey,
I don't know many like that. I can only speak for regular guys. No, I don't have it.
I understand. When you give out stats to say most people cheat with people they work with,
right?
And 30% of those are at work. So right now, I can't give. If I'm with a girl, I'm not giving her time at work. So if I'm hitting a bitch at work, then that is happening a lot with regular guys in warehouses, freezers. That is happening a lot. That's most of the cheating happen at work, lunch breaks, boyfriend. So that's a statistic. So them regular guys, them not NBA players at work. Them are regular schmegular guys knocking off something at work and going home to their wife.
Right.
So that's a real stat. I ain't saying 2 Aston Martins flying somebody out. No, I ain't living that world. I'm saying I've seen guys who work for $18 an hour. Stay with a girl and bam the girl at work. I've seen that happen consistently.
I just have not seen it a regular occurrence every week on a weekly basis.
Cap, I think you have.
Getting her at work.
Ladies, man. Bro.
I'm not even gonna lie. Chris done blew the question for me. I am in a whirlwind. What was the original question? Sorry.
Chris, should men keep their options open? And then Chris took it to a B, a C, and a G. Should men keep their options open while dating?
Yeah. Nah, like you said, Mario always talked about dating for purpose. So if you're dating for purpose, yeah, you can't keep your options open because it's gonna keep your vision distorted. But if you're dating for pleasure, like Chris said, have at it, my brother. So to answer the question, it all depends on which avenue you're trying to travel down. But if you want to be successful, put your blinders on.
Yeah, I didn't really like that answer, Zay, from you. I wanted more,
That's what I had tonight. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, listen, it's the finale because just like Mike Tyson, Shaquille O'Neal, prominent Hall of Fame NBA player, has been more transparent, and he's been releasing segments about past relationships and regrets. And I admire him because he was on someone's podcast the other day, and he said that he had in his lifetime. He can't say, don't misquote me, but he pretty much said that in his lifetime he had two, uh, what you would deem the perfect woman for him in his life, and he fumbled them twice. So my question to you guys: can you be transparent, and do you feel like you've ever fumbled what it might have been that what you can deem a perfect woman, or someone that might, I guess, would have been perfect for you? Zay.
Glad you said that. But I've had this conversation with you guys before. I believe I did. I told you at the time that I did have that woman, I was nowhere. I didn't pray that prayer. I prayed for that woman, didn't pray for myself. And I just found out that that was a very good woman. I did fumble her, but at that time, I would have messed it up any dang way. So, yes, to answer that question, I actually heard what Shaq was saying, and he made some very valid points. When men stand on business, that's how that goes. And I like the respect that he put with that. You know, he said about his wife, you know, it's still his wife. If you listen to biblical terms, it is, because to death do he part, but he did cheat. So that I think that's the one inclusion. I'm not sure, but Mario will definitely catch me if I'm not. But he still says he will shut the ass up. He did say if he could take care of her, help her out in any way, you know, protect her, he would. That's what men are supposed to do. Whether you were right or wrong, you can't rock with that emotional. You gotta do what is right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and do accountability. Um, but yeah, that's my answer. I agree with that. I agree with what he said, and I do feel like that. I think every man has, but have you recognized that you've done that? And you probably have not. But that's my answer.
That's interesting. Listen, they remember this story because we was in our front yard. I had someone that I met. I think I was around 19, right? I had just came out my ugly stage. I had muscles. I was feeling myself for the first time, and it was someone I went to school with, but I didn't know them well. Put up at the mall when Jay was stealing tapes out of the mall. Me and Zay and Jay went to the tape. The boy stealing singles out of the CD place for no, out of the tape player place for no reason. Just stole
Pocket
it for
full
no
of
reason.
money.
Bro, just
Yeah.
stealing for no reason. Anyway, I ended up chatting with this person. This person was crazy about me. Listen, they could spend every minute of their day underneath me. You know, this was my first girlfriend that will show up with new clothes, new shoes. Like she really was crazy about me. I didn't love her, but she was actually like such a well-rounded person. And today that joke is a doctor up in northern Palm Beach County. She's a doctor, and that person was just crazy about me and my immature self and not ready. Like I just got out here. There's no way I'm about to go on lockdown. Might have fumbled that one off the rip. And I remember they don't remember this. I broke up with her, and she peeled out of my mama's yard like. I
Oh
never
yeah.
knew
I'm gonna
a
show
Honda.
you.
I never knew a Honda could smoke tires, but she came up out of the yard and took off down the street, man. And I thought about it because after that, I learned a lot of these chicken heads won't worth a dang. But you know, I look at my brother Jarrell's situation. Jarrell met his wife, and they've been
Right.
flourishing because he stepped up. Immature me, I wasn't ready for the responsibilities of having a girlfriend who didn't even ask for much, just reply to a page or a call and whatnot. So, yeah, I definitely could say I fumbled that one, even though I don't know if I would have ever grown to love her, but she was a great person.
That's your
You
answer right there, Chris. Options open. Honda.
you you
Boy,
mean
it
to
was
tell me that it didn't work by keeping dating her while your options was open? You tell me that didn't work?
that was 19-year-old me.
Oh, okay. No, because it doesn't work.
Well, it was difficult back then. I wasn't that guy back then. Like I was hot right then, bro. I'm not used to this. I'm just starting. I wasn't having sex. I was 18, Chris. So I had a girl that wanted to be there, everywhere, every minute. Trying to date other people was damn near impossible anyway. You know what I mean? Like she was underneath my arms like deodorant. So 19-year-old me is different from, the one that went on. And I think, hell, that was the Daytona years. Like, I'm out here in these streets. I
Mm.
wasn't thinking
Straight
about
off.
being in no real relationship. This person was talking about getting an apartment together and all this stuff. I'm like, listen, I don't even know what life about yet. So yeah, I dropped that one, Chris. Medium Meach, enlighten us.
Well, first off, no, I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect woman. So I don't think that I've never fumbled a perfect woman because I don't think it's a perfect woman. I believe that imperfections in women is what you're supposed to love, is what you're supposed to pay attention to. That whatever she's insecure about is what you're supposed to try to strengthen her in. Loving a woman's imperfections is actually loving a woman. You know what I'm saying? You guys what I'm saying?
Chris, in context to what he said on the video, perfect, I'm assuming as in perfect for him or perfect what he, yeah, not a perfect woman. Nobody's perfect, Chris. You know,
I don't think no woman is perfect for you. I think that's just I don't believe in that whole concept. I barely believe in good women because I think I like bad things in women. Like I like some of the bad in women. Some of that turns me on. So I don't believe in this. I think that what I think is, and it's sad to say this, but I believe that Shaq is doing what we normally do. We uplift women, and that's what we're taught to do. But Shaq is if Shawnee and Arnetta is perfect, Shaq, what is Shaq then? Shaq is one of the greatest men in this world, bro. Shaq is a philanthropist. Shaq is a businessman. Shaq is a husband. Shaq is, well, not now, but he was a father. We got to stop judging men on the time in their life where they're the most preyed upon. When he was that age, having that amount of money, everybody preyed upon him. Groupies preyed upon him. Family members preyed upon him to get money. We got to stop judging men on that small window of their life, and then now all of a sudden they're not perfect. Arnetta did unperfect things. Shunny probably did unperfect things, but I guarantee you they would never get in front of the camera and say that Shaq is a perfect man. But Shaq will do that. That shows you the character of that man. That is a great man. And nobody would ever get up there and say he's perfect. So I understand exalting women. I get that. That's what we're taught to do. But stop judge. I do that same thing. I judge the how my worth on mistakes I've made with women, especially when it comes to infidelity. We make those mistakes, but that doesn't make us unperfect. That doesn't make us not worthy of it. Just like we should love a woman through their imperfections. Shaq is a man that deserved to be patient with. The world was coming at that man. He was about everybody preyed on that man. We see what women do to rich men. It takes a high amount of what's the word? What is the word?
Discipline.
Discipline. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I would go to say that it takes a God level amount of discipline when you're in that spot. So it's hard for people to judge him that will never experience that type of temptation ever.
Glad you said that, Chris. That's what I was saying. I just went through that. I was just getting out there. The world was coming at me, Chris.
You didn't have Shaq.
I was 19.
Temptation to me.
No,
you didn't.
I was wearing tank tops, see-through sweatpants. I was hot in these streets, my man. All right.
Hot man too. You want to see this?
Zay was there.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, he was definitely there. Super Mario.
That's yeah, I don't believe it's a perfect woman, but in the context of what he was saying in that interview, I definitely it was mind blowing because I sat there and watched it, and I really watched it because I was like, man, when he got both of those women, he was a rich man, right? And he did have all the women to choose from. Man, he still does. Like, it's Shaq. Like Shaq is really like one of the people I watch on my financial channel. When the man who was Shaq accountant, I follow him and watch his YouTube, and he explains how he commits his formulate his business plans for Shaq, right? So I kind of look into that a lot more because to hear him talking that thing, but I've heard him talk highly of Shawnee all the time, right? Not to beat around the bush. And I think that's Shaq is a man after my own heart when it comes to like looking at me first and finding fault what I did. Don't matter what other person did. It matters what I did. Like it matters me. Like, did I say I wasn't gonna do this? Then if I said I wasn't gonna do this, it don't matter what nobody else did. The reason don't matter. I said it, so I'm at fault. And I think that's what Shaq do a lot. If you ever watch Shaq, he does that a lot. Like on anything with Kobe, with the Olympic team, like he does that. Like as a man, I feel like you shouldn't do this, and I really truly feel that. Not for that Shaq. I just want to go down that road. To answer the question, I don't think I'm gonna not answer that's perfect, but I believe I've had a good woman and didn't appreciate her because I think that's what Shaq was truly trying to say. Have you ever had he had a good woman and didn't appreciate her to the utmost? I think I was younger too. And I think in my situation, it was a little bit different because I think I was dating a woman and I wanted her, right? And I was young. I was like 9th grade. And then because I couldn't have her like the way I was supposed to have her because I hung around a motley crew. And I was looked down on taking my time. So I felt like she wasn't going fast enough. So at that point in time, she was everything else I wanted in a woman. She was probably one of the baddest in the school, if I do say so myself, my 9th grade year. And I did a damn good job. You know what I'm saying? And then I let you ain't ready to do what I'm finna do.
Yeah.
When I wasn't even doing, you know what I'm saying? Like just the allure of you saying no to me or take your time to me was like, who are you telling me to take my time? And then I learned a very valuable lesson because a guy who's not my homeboy right now, but we cool, was one of the main culprits and saying, "Man, leave that. Man, you got it done for da 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 da." The next thing you know, 2 years later, that's his girlfriend.
Oh no!
And I said, "Well, ain't this about her?" You know what I'm saying? So then I learned that a lot of times people gonna give you advice on stuff that they can't do to see you fail. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. I think that everybody seen a woman. Another thing Shaq doing, I don't like, because I like the interview, but I don't like this. I don't like when you look in hindsight, when you outside of a situation and then speak on how the situation should have been or what you could have did, right? Because
Steve Harvey.
Because you outside of it. Like you outside of that no more. So it's easy to say, I remember when she used to do this. I remember when she used to do that. I remember when she used to do that. But a lot of times in our life, when we start painting this picture of somebody in our head, we start believing. So then you start forgetting all the bad stuff that made you didn't like Shawnee. All the other stuff that made you didn't like her, the aggravating stuff, Shawnee. You start forgetting those because it was so long ago, and you start only remembering the good stuff that Shawnee did. Then you get a representation because, not especially Shawnee, she's married to Henderson, the pastor. They're all over, and then you starting to see how he's talking highly of her. And you're like, I remember that. Man, I remember that. But then he's not telling you, she still tell me take off my shoes every time I come, like all that stuff. So I think I don't really like when men do that or women do that when they say, I wish I could have, because there was something, that reason why other than you cheating that made that relationship not work. Because you cheated a couple of times, y'all forgave each other a couple of times, and then you stopped fighting. So there was something about Shawnee that made you say, I'm done fighting for this. And I'm going to go out here and see, what's else in the world. So I had to beat that question on. I just wanted to say, I don't like when people do that in relationships, look back and say, I messed up. I should have did this. I should have did that. Because like Horace alluded to, Chris, Zay definitely alluded to it. Bro, every relationship I've ever had in my life prepared me for where I am right now. That's good or bad. And sometimes I felt like them women were pretty good for me. Like really good for me at that time. But now, like Shaq get married 2 years from now, I wonder if he'll be saying this.
You better not.
I didn't like the fact that he said that that's still his wife. No, it's not, bro. I married her. That's my wife.
I want to know. That would have been a question too. I was gonna put that as a question, but I know y'all. I didn't know if that was a fair question for y'all because you're not married. Because I ain't gonna lie, I understood, like Zay alluded to, what he was saying. But at some point, I think like I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to hear you praising my wife all the time. Like, I don't want to bro. You don't have to even be talking about her no more, bro. That passes behind you. Y'all are co-parents. I shook your hand. Hey, how you doing, brother? You and Shawnee have not been together for years, bro. And now you're going on a public. Every time somebody put a mic in your face, they start talking about your life. You start talking about Shawnee.
Stop talking about my wife, dog.
Listen, wasn't about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they had an interview where she was on somebody's interview and she left out there how she kept thinking about the possibilities of her and Shaq before she was getting married to this guy.
Yeah, she said that public because she said her and Shaq. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Shaq gave up. So that's what I'm saying. Knowing their relationship, that's what I'm saying. Okay, he cheated, but they were still so amicable. Like Shaq was still treating, like he said, like you're my wife.
Yeah.
Like he helped her start basketball while like Shaq was still doing all that. So in her head, she was like, dang, like I don't want to mess up this friendship that we have now over these years. For I love this dude. And then I'm assuming that Shaq probably was like, well, damn. Like,
can I get that Shaq impression again?
Well, damn. In the back of his head, you know how we is, bro. Let's be real for a minute. In the back of our head, we all had situations where we felt like we were gonna circle back around. Right. When we got shit right. And I believe Shaq in his head thought when it's all said and done, nobody gonna like because Chris said, I'm Shaq. Nobody who gonna marry Shawnee? And I came before that. So I circle back around. I circle back around and get my wife. And then the only guy who possibly could marry him, because you can't even talk about a preacher. He's 6 foot, like 5 himself. Everybody love him. He TD Jake's illegitimate, son in the Lord. He's in the Potter House Junior. He's the next coming up. Oh, how can you even talk about this guy? Like,
yep. Somebody snuck in the back door.
No, and it kills us all. That's why.
Too.
Hey, wait a minute. There, we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, not
Steak
Shaq.
and Shake.
Yeah, not Burger Shack.
But yeah, I just think that Shaq is a great, Shawnee perfect. And what is Shaq, man? Shaq done some amazing things. This is an amazing man. I was like, God damn.
Hey, there, go fly.
The Shaq shit is sharp stadium. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't take you. I still love Radio Shack too.
I'm sorry, dear. I couldn't let it go on. I kept I say, wait a minute. Not Burger Shack. We're talking about Shaquille O'Neal.
Radio Shack still is fine.
Oh my God, bro.
I love
the food, bro. Listen.
I wonder if somebody could sell Derek a jersey for Shaq like that.
Radio.
Hey, boy.
If I see Derek with a Shaq jersey, I gotta look in the back now.
Hey, boy. Yeah, I gotta check the back of that jersey, boy. Oh, Derek, you gave me one for the road, man. Listen, I forgot what the next question was, man, but no, I think we all guilty of that one thing, man. Joker think he got time to double back, or sometimes Joker just want to get off the leash for a minute.
Yeah.
And then somebody snuck in the back door. Pride.
I done definitely had that happen to me. I thought I double back, and then nigga double dutch me. And then I had to keep playing cool, but I was like, man, I thought I'd have a little more time than that. Bro, and I started saying she wasn't do good in the first place. She moved on that fast.
Yeah, I had one like that. I didn't even want it till I just snuck in my back door. Then that's more about of all the Negroes, this Negro here, like how?
Yeah, I'm so bad with the shit. Like I don't even be wanting to be back with him. I just don't want nobody else with them. I just hate on that.
That's honest.
Completely.
That's most men, especially when
I'd be mad when they move on. We ain't together. Boy. We probably ain't never dated, but I'd be so mad when they move on, dog. I don't be wanting to see them no more at all, dog.
You look at them, you don't want nothing out of life.
That's most men, dog. That's a thin line between, because most men feel that they'll never admit it, but it's a thin line between control and no control in that situation, Chris. That's that. Dang, I'm mad. I laugh it off. I go get another woman, and that I can't take this, and I kill her or I beat her up. You know what I'm saying? That thin line is when it all go wrong for most men.
Yeah, I ain't gonna try to sabotage your shit, but I don't want to be in the same room with y'all. I don't want to see it, but I'm fine. I'm happy for you. Go do your thing. I respect that. You left me. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think they get old though. Listen, I know somebody that likes my little cigar, but they have a crush on me. And I know somebody that she dated, and I was like, ain't no way. You dated that nigga there?
Oh, I do that. I always
no way. Now you straight though.
Bro, ain't no way. All the Negroes, you date, nah, I can't.
I done had some people disappoint me with that too. I
Yeah.
was appalled, and I ain't even a nigga that still. And I
I
was
thought
really
you was a
appalled. Like,
Demario.
I thought that I couldn't believe what you talked to that caliber of guy.
Yeah.
Dare you attach my name to such filth?
Bruh. Yeah, I definitely been there, and I be looking like him. Like, you don't want nothing out of life. Because him, I can't even understand that one, man. So you have been banished from all consideration. It's a lifetime suspension, and we would never even touch uglies in life.
I know we over. I got a question. Do you ever look back and say, I wonder what made this girl like me when I was at this point in my life?
Oh yeah,
All the time. What the hell?
damn near everyone.
That's true love.
Every one of them.
I look back and say,
It took some women to love me. I want to give a shout out to all the women that actually love me. I know you guys work y'all ass off to do that, and I appreciate you, ladies.
nah, for real. You know, I just look back and be like, women now will tell me they so proud of me and they're so happy. And I'll be like, but you like me when I was so complete. I was a complete loser. I'm talking about. I was horrible, man. There's no way you thought I was gonna come. There's no way you thought that. You say that I knew you was gonna be. No, you didn't. There's no way. I was so far from who I am right now. This is crazy, bro.
I swear, dog. I've had nothing at times. Women that let me use their car, let me live in their crib, fed me, clothed me, dog. I done been treated well. I done been treated well by women, dog. So I can't ever think why they invested so much into me. But I appreciate it though.
I think it's in women nature for that storybook image. Look what I found him, somebody I love, and look, we're gonna have that storybook image. Look at the girl who just got divorced, Tia and Tamara. She seen the joke at the bus stop, and they ended up having a long-lasting relationship, marriage for a while. But a lot of women like that storybook fantasy. Oh, we met here, and look at us now. And it's all for everybody else.
I think that's what got me messed up because I know it's possible, and I only want that situation because that's why I go back to the maximizing opportunity situation. I know that's possible. I know women would treat me like that. The only thing I have to do now is maximize that opportunity by not maximizing opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Really? Okay. I just thank you. I'll say it all the time. All you need is 2 teeth and $2, and you could be great out here. Polygamy is even back on the table nowadays.
That's pushing, bro. And a lot of women are saying leading that too. I'm hearing a lot of that. There's an uptick.
Yeah, I can't wait to personally know somebody who do it. I got so many questions of somebody who actually is living it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, faithfully living it. You know what I'm saying? I like to ask questions and like to really dig with somebody who,
We got a homeboy that you might want to have a conversation with. He's semi.
I want to send him to jail. Look, and polyandry, where it's a woman and 2 men.
That ain't no uptick.
That's
still a train. It's still a train.
Even in China, that's a train.
It's a train. That's all it is.
I always be impressed. I said that box is taking a beating.
It ain't hard to get a polyamory. You can have anything.
I've always been in those.
Yeah,
I've always shared.
What? Those come every day.
Well, I guess it's not on the table. Hey, let me go out with closing comments. I want to start off by saying this weekend we got to celebrate 70 years in this world. We gave a surprise birthday party to Big Norman Sr. Everybody was there. They was not there. He was across the water somewhere as usual. But we celebrated 70 years, and the man looked like he was about to actually cry. He dropped the mic so fast, but I think they actually surprised him with a birthday party this year. So shout out to Big Norman on 70 years. Chris came to the party and did not come to play. I got a picture for y'all in my phone. Yeah.
Oh man, that was amazing, dog. I have to say, hats off to your family. Hats off. Big shout out to Norman, the sponsor of that. He put it all together, man. You did amazing. You did an amazing job, dog. I was so inspired by that, dog. I swear, when I left there, I was just saying the truth. I shed a tear, bro. That was amazing to me. I've always seen us gather together to honor the matriarch of a family. I've seen that so much. I have never been to a place experience where you honor the patriarch of the family. And it was a room full of people smiling, dressed up for an antisocial man. Like he doesn't even talk a whole lot.
Yeah, he do. When he tell you shut the hell up.
to celebrate him. Dog, that shit was so amazing to see, dog. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it real with you, dog. I'm jealous of your family, dog. I'm jealous of those experiences. But I'm glad I get to appreciate it. To see that, dog, it was inspiring to me. Because again, at the end of the day, dog, that's something that we should all want. A room full of people to celebrate you by just being a father, just being a husband. Dog, he hasn't slayed no magic dragon. He's a regular man, but got a room full of people here to celebrate you and show love to you. Dog, even at the party, dog, he never spoke a word to me. But every time he walked past me, it just tapped me. And dog, that meant so much to me. He said nothing to me the whole night. But every time he passed me, just tapped me a little bit, just let me know that I see you. Now, I respect that man to the utmost, man. I appreciate your family for allowing me to come to that.
Overwhelming is interesting, Chris, considering that you are my mom's problem child. So I don't know what you don't see. You've always been a part of our family. Chris got in trouble the whole night, but that is off the camera conversation that we would share backstage. Chris was Chris. As soon as my mom would see Chris, she'd go over in mama mode. Chris, what is Chris doing? Chris. Mario, bro, I'll take a back seat. When Chris there, I'm not the worst of the sons. It's Chris. And then everybody was like, where's Zay? And I was like, I thought Zay might have overslept or whatever. But yeah, Chris was Chris, man. But, oh, man, it was an amazing time. And International Ladies, man.
Man, yeah, shout out to Big Norm, man. I get a chance to holler at Big Norm a lot more than everyone else. I didn't get a chance to go, and I was upset because like I said, we did take the crew out, and on top of that, one of my business partners who told us a year in advance was getting married at the same exact time, and we had already RSVP'd for that by the time Lil Norman had let me know about Norman's surprise birthday party, so I can't be in two places at one time, and I had to be a man of my word, so I ended up going, so I'll have to catch it up with Pops on the flip side. But to speak to that point that you're talking about, Horace, Chris actually took over for Prentice and another Chris McMahon, because boy, when them jokers came to church, and it's funny, I talked to Prentice probably about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and that's what he was talking about. Out of all the years he's been gone, he's talking about when we were younger and went to church and how Vicky would put the law down on us and how all of us are just, we're one big happy family. So I share the same sentiment with you, Chris. Y'all know I was the only child coming up until I even found out that I had brothers and sisters. And that's my family here to this point. When they see me now, it's still cuz, nephew, or whatever the case may be. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Norman on his 70th, man. And that was what's up. I'm mad I did miss it. Yeah, that's Pleasant City, Norman. That's the same one.
Absolutely.
I also gotta apologize, dog, because gotta apologize to Ashley. I spoke to the sponsor of the event and told him not to ban her from coming because I didn't want to see her with a new man.
That was a new level of petty.
A little salty about that. So she texted me about it and I told her the truth. But yeah, man, my bad.
Okay. And you don't think that got power? You don't think that got power? You don't think no power in that you get people banned from the powder for your comfort? Mario.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Norman because Norman was excited about this too. Like little Norman. You know, first of all, shout out to Vietnam. You know, knowing him over the time, man. He was one of the men that I knew that did construction. You know, that's a part of my life. And I remember when I first got my home inspection thing, and he was like, "Man, I'm so proud of you, man. You're doing that, man." He was like, he lit up. And Norman don't give you a lot of expression. So him telling me that he was so happy and I was in the right career. And just saying, you know, that's good. I know my mama happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he really don't say too much. It's like Chris say, hey, I'll say, let me hold something. You know, he'll give you those little innuendos and go to work. But I worked on a lot of construction sites when I was young, and Norman seeing him in his element of doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I always respected him. So then, to be able to come home now and have conversations that I'm in that element is always like a good feeling to see those men. And then, talking to Lil Norman about it, I seen how happy he was. Mm-hmm. And I always admired that, because no matter what, that was his daddy. And if you know Lil Norman, you knew that he looks at Big Norman as like, you know what I'm saying, as you should look at you. So I can understand Chris seeing that growing up. It was kind of like normal seeing them two interact, or seeing them, or even his brothers, how his brothers talk to Norman. You'll see, you know what I'm saying? All of them respect Norman as such. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
But and then when I told Norman I couldn't make it too, my sister-in-law turned 50 this year, so happy birthday, Rhonda. And we had she had a black tie event up here, but man, it was I had some work too. But man, I wish I could have came, because I definitely would have loved to see that, and just to pay respect for him, because it's one thing I respect is a man who have raised kids, worked hard, and stayed and been married. You know what I'm saying? Like, those three things right there on your plate every morning, waking up is a hell of a plate right there. So any man that I look in the eyes and I see that they've traveled the road I'm trying to travel, I always got a lot of respect when I see that man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. Shout out to this whole situation, and shout out to y'all guys too, man, because I believe at some point all of us walking down that road, it might be taking different routes, but it's going to head to the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Chris.
Speaking of that road, boy, this hurt me so bad, and I don't mean this as a jab or nothing like that, dog. But Tudor came in there with something. I came in there on the solo. Tudor came in there with little something, dog. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. Then he did it on purpose, dog. He set her right next to me.
I dare you to talk to him.
Just to throw it in my face, like, look what you could be, young man, young grasshopper. I was so jealous of that shit too, dog.
Did it inspire you?
I was so jealous, dog.
Did it inspire you to do better? No.
I was jealous. I was definitely jealous.
Chris still showed out the whole entire time. So as usual,
I'm gonna take a word from my brother. It's just a decision.
Yeah, it definitely was the talk of the night, but we'll talk backstage for sure, because the night kept going and going. But yeah, shout out to Big Nom. Oh, there we go. Lynn. Oh my goodness. Hey, straight up though, shout out to fatherhood, because Big Norm is a man whose father had 39 kids. So for Big Norm to be the father that he was, trust me, tough, hard, but he'll never leave you out there. But he gonna fuss, he gonna talk some crap, but he'll never leave you by yourself, bro. He gonna show up every time for you, and especially if you wanted the daughter. So yeah, I didn't even think about it that way, Chris. To see a man, father get celebrated, we need to see more of that. You know what I mean? So when Cupcake throw your party, we definitely be there. All right.
The room full of people, dog. So that's what life is about, dog. And this man ain't had to do all the stuff that they say we required to do. Nah, he just was a man that just went about his business and stood on business, and a room full of people who had to celebrate you, dog. That is amazing to me. That was amazing to me.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Terry, who was in the audience as well. Mr. Terry is another man who listen, gave you the blueprint. You know what I mean? Work home, was an uncle to us. You know what I mean? Give you a good conversation, whoops their ass time to time. So yeah, man, we did have some positive men in our community. So gotta appreciate that. Yeah.
I ducked one though when I stole that car, boy. I ducked that one.
Yeah. So you did some stuff, boy. Hey, shout out to everybody that joined us. We'll catch you next week, same bad channel. I promise you.